Hello, good evening. Welcome to Future Environments, Art and Architecture in Action. My name is Nora Young. I'm the host of Spark, CBC Radio's national technology show. I'm delighted to be your MC. I did my undergrad at U of T. It's been a long time since I've been in this building and never in this location, so this is a very different experience for me. As someone who's spent most of my career looking at the social dimension of technology, the politics of it, I'm fascinated by architecture, not only because it's where we often find cutting-edge technology, but because it's where we see the social and political aspects of technology and design play out in public. So often those politics are buried, and architecture is a great opportunity to surface that. So, as I said, we're in Convocation Hall, one of U of T's most iconic buildings, dating back to 1907, with its neoclassical columns and copper dome. It practically screams tradition, and yet just outside, we're surrounded by leading-edge architectural environments that are home to some of the world's most exciting thinkers. So the new addition to the campus is just a couple of blocks west of here. The paint is barely dry. I understand people are frantically getting ready to move. It's the new home of the John H. Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design at 1 Spadina Circle. That building is filling up as we speak with people and computers and studio equipment, with thinkers who are exploring the intersection of technology and architecture, of nature and human habitat, of past, present, and future. These are the people we'll be hearing from tonight as we explore some of the most innovative and surprising areas coming out of that faculty. So we're going to hear from 5 Daniels professors who are engaging the world through art, science, and critical thinking about our environments as the Daniels faculty prepares to take center stage in the global design field. Their topics range from bringing nature into cities to designing buildings for the Arctic, and we'll finish the evening by walking across the front campus and over to the University of Toronto Art Museum. All that is starting in a couple of minutes, but now please welcome to the stage Professor Richard Sommer, Dean of the Daniels Faculty. He's going to say a few words of welcome. Richard?
Thank you, Nora. Good evening. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone here this evening for what I'm sure will be a thought-provoking discussion on the role that architecture, art, landscape architecture, and urban design play in addressing many of the environmental and social questions we face today. I would like to thank the University of Toronto Science and Engineering Engagement Initiative for its role in organizing tonight's event. I want to especially thank our president, Meric Gertler, for support of this initiative, which aims to raise awareness of the university's strengths in science and engineering by showcasing top researchers across the University of Toronto. This evening's event is also an opportunity for us at the Daniels faculty to share our work with alumni and colleagues from disciplines across all of the 3 campuses of U of T. The John H. Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design has a long 125-year history. Actually, we're, I think, 126 or 127 now. But tonight, you'll hear about the most recent research and creative work of just a few of our faculty. The research and projects presented this evening move beyond traditional text and mathematics-based modes of inquiry to explore new intersections between design, the environment, and visual culture. They are interdisciplinary by nature and tuned to the challenges of a changing planet and the evolving needs of society. Now, to foreground what you're going to hear from my colleagues, I want to offer 2 somewhat recent discoveries that might help illuminate just some of the connections between science, art, and architecture that my colleagues and I think about. The first discovery has to do with the relationship between our brains, the environments that surround us, and creative work. Building on ancient concepts of the art of memory, recent discoveries in neuroscience show how the human brain stays plastic well into old age. We are just beginning to understand how the brain's architecture is dynamically affected by environmental factors and creative stimulation. It turns out that there is a profound biological basis for the way in which all of us, but particularly artists and architects, first find the world and then take action to form it. Experimental research has shown that even rats may seek creative stimulation over food and sustenance. Having the opportunity to renew ourselves by experiencing and creating distinctive art and architecture, whatever form this may take, is not then in any way a luxury to be attended to after our other basic needs are fulfilled, but rather it's something central to our evolution and survival as a species. So the second discovery, actually more accurately a set of concepts, is related to the work of the contemporary German philosopher Peter Sloterdijk. Sloterdijk is in some ways attacking similar problems to the neuroscientists I just referred to, the relationship between space, architecture, and changing human consciousness. Yet his concerns are more ontological. As part of his expansive philosophical ruminations on how the foam-like spatial structures of modern architecture and our cities, he sees them as a key to understanding contemporary politics and social relations. Sloterdijk reveals how science, and the biological sciences in particular, while seemingly objective and apolitical, must proceed, that is, must literally think by way of metaphors. So Sloterdijk argues that many of the most fundamental metaphors that science think through comes from architecture and the history of dwelling. For example, the scientific notion of the cell, which has its roots in the kinds of ancient habitations that were eventually incorporated into the form of the religious cloister. Now, as Nora just mentioned, our faculty is about to relocate to One Spadina, and you'll hear a lot of talk about this because people are excited about it. So, curiously, One Spadina Crescent was the original site for the Knox Theological Seminary, which of course took the form of a cloister. Knox was later remade into a famous site of scientific inquiry, which many of you may have heard of, the Connaught Laboratories, where insulin was invented and manufactured here at University of Toronto. This curious succession of religious study, scientific inquiry, and now creative endeavor on the same site at the head of Spadina Avenue is something that Sloterdijk might have a heyday with. I know that we have. We have expanded and transformed the old cloister into an incredibly modern set of spaces in which to educate architects, artists, and designers, conduct pioneering research, and engage our various publics. We have undertaken this large expansion, the largest expansion of any architecture school in Canada's history, and we believe we'll have the official opening late in the fall. Before that, I would like to invite everyone here and all of your friends on behalf of the faculty to a preview of this still unfinished project actually at the end of this month, May 27th and 28th, as part of the City of Toronto's Doors Open. And after tonight, I hope that you'll come over not only to experience the architecture of our new building, but to find out more about the work we're doing in the building. Thank you.
Well, good evening. My name is Meric Gertler, and I'm delighted to be here to welcome you as president of the University of Toronto to this fabulous event. Let me also begin by thanking Professor Molly Schoikert and her team at Science and Engineering Engagement for organizing this event, along with colleagues at the Daniels faculty. And while I'm at the microphone, let me also take this opportunity to congratulate Molly on her latest, just recently announced honor, winning this year's Killam Prize in Engineering. Congratulations, Molly. If you don't know Molly, let me just say that she has a remarkable talent for highlighting science where it is least expected. In music, which was the subject of last year's symposium, and in art and architecture, which is, of course, what we're going to be hearing about tonight in this showcase of the fascinating research and scholarship that is taking place at the John H. Daniels Faculty of Architecture, Landscape, and Design. The Daniels faculty, in my view, really stands out among its peers in North America for the excellence of its scholarship, and you're going to hear a lot about that tonight, as well as the breadth of its programming and the broad sweep of what it does. It also plays a crucial role in U of T's contributions as a city builder. We are so fortunate to be situated in one of the world's great urban regions, a major metropolis that is growing and changing every day before our eyes. And we've built the Daniels faculty into a leading hub of research and education deeply involved in the city, but also making an impact around the world. Our location in this great region presents a bit of a responsibility to help shape the city around us. But it's also a tremendous opportunity. It enables us to learn from the talented people who make Toronto so dynamic, to engage with the global community, and also to offer an outstanding educational experience to our students. As the faculty moves into its stunning new home, and it really is stunning, at One Spadina, I think it's clear that the best is yet to come. This new complex will promote even stronger links to North America's third largest design cluster, which is based here in Toronto and is such a significant contributor to Canada's economy. It will enable our researchers to shape the nature of urban change, both locally and in other cities across this country and around the world. And it will provide a significant new source of inspiration for our students as they prepare for their own future as city builders. One of the important features that will be developed at One Spadina is a model cities theater and laboratory, which will use comparative data and emerging 3D visualization technologies to explore and test new ideas in urban design. Another very notable occupant is the GRIT Lab, and you're going to hear a little bit about it tonight, the Green Roof Innovation Testing Laboratory, which is internationally acclaimed for its work on improving green and clean technologies. So tonight you're going to hear from some of the great minds at work at the Daniels faculty. Their ideas are outstanding examples of how a faculty of architecture can play a key role, not just in the physical aspects of city building, but also in the construction of an intellectual environment that sustains great communities. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you again for joining us, and I invite you to enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Gertler. And now on with the main event. Each of these upcoming presentations deserves at least an evening on its own. So tonight we're really just giving you a little taste, a brief introduction to the ideas and epiphanies and obsessions of the scholars we've assembled here for you.